Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Taking my sip of coffee. I'm having fun today. No real markets to me. To some, yes. To me, no. It's a holiday. It's a 3-day weekend here in the States. So we've been doing all kinds of laborious things to do, moving this, toting that. Just all kinds of, always try to get a lot of things done. And then I end up in the evening swimming or doing something else, to relax after the event. But here we go. Let's see what's going on here. There's the, that's crude. I was looking at crude right for a second. There's the, we are having electronic trading in, oil and gold and silver and so forth. Most of the futures contracts are trading. And obviously all the currencies are trading. And I guess we could start off literally talking about I'm going to call it the semi-panic. The semi-panic of Europe, it seems like this morning. We talked about it the last couple of days. And, it's been very clear that a lot of the selling is coming from Europe. And I was thinking about it this morning, being a lazy day, I had a chance to think about it harder than usual. And, it kind of reminds me of the Cyprus situation. And I'm going to show you a picture to start off with. This is was like the headline for a while on Zero Hedge. Where is it at? Right there. Is Europe, as Europe implodes. And, let's see if I can pull it up a little bit better. Let me do this. If I go like that. Somehow or another, the picture of the fellow on the front page of it. Let me show you how it looked to me. Here it is. I'm just going to bring this over real quick. See this? It says, as Europe implodes, it plans radical intervention, including price setting, suspending derivative markets in Europe, Europe-wide margins, things like that. And I thought, wow, you see this headline like that, and I just shake my head. It's like, wow, and then I thought, what came to mind was storm. Storm is in the house. Storm incoming. And then I was thinking, Storm, do you remember Cyprus? What they did in Cyprus back in 2013? And then what I did is I Googled this and I brought it up, right? And here is it reminded me of people in Cyprus have reacted with a shock. This is back in 2013, March of 2013. And it says, shock of news of a one-off levy up to 10% on savings as part of a $10 billion euro bailout agreed in Brussels, right? So European Union was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Everything you need to know about the Cyprus bank disaster. That is on March 18th. And there it is. Everything you need to know. And what they did is they basically took everybody's deposits and gave them stock. Imagine you woke up one day and discovered your bank account has been raided by another company, a country's government. Just like that. $1 in every 16 of your supposedly safe money is gone. If you're wealthy enough to have more savings, it could be $1 in $10. Is it a nightmare? The opening chapter of Kafka story, a Bond villain plot to start bank run, bring down the government? Nah, it's just a new reality facing bank deposits in Cyprus. It might just set off a fresh wave of financial panic in Eurozone, but because we haven't had enough of that lately. We've already, it was all falling apart. Anyway, I was going to show USA Today, The Guardian, The Telegraph, the Financial Times, all thought this was brilliant. It was brilliant. The media it was brilliant. This was brilliant. This is like, oh yeah, let's take people's deposits and give them stock. So, and then when you go to try to sell the stock, you're not allowed to sell the stock for X period of time. But that's brilliant. They thought this was like the second coming of Jesus. This was brilliant. Everybody couldn't. This was going to be a template, they said. All the news media, the financial news media, minus people like myself, who said this is like a template. What to do in the future. This was fantastic. I mean, it was going to be a debate between the second coming of Jesus or this. They thought you couldn't get more acclaim, more what do they call it? When they say something, you've done something high kios. You know, it was like you couldn't get more genius than that. Albert Einstein was renegated to being the second smartest thing in the universe. Now this in Cyprus was number one. So I saw that headline, and it instantly bothered me. They're going to increase margins. I'm thinking, why don't you force people to just use options? If they want to be stupid and be heavily invested, why don't you limit the risk? You know, make them marry puts to equities that they buy, so they're naked long all this, equity, and they're naked at the same time. So why don't you suspend car insurance or health insurance or house insurance or life insurance? Just get rid of it. Who needs insurance, right? So, do I remember? Oh, yeah, that was another circus act. Occupy Wall Street. What a joke that was. Let's see. You mean when the people were not allowed to take money, their own money? Yes, they thought that was genius. I'm telling you, it was starting to beat out the crowd that thought Jesus was coming a second time. So, or I'm trying to think what else they thought. It was so brilliant. It was the most brilliant thing. I remember the Financial Times saying, I was going to post all the haikus about it. They all thought it was brilliant. I can't even take it any further than that. That's how stupid it was. They all thought it was brilliant. That's it. Now, Occupy Wall Street, yeah, that was another one of those George Soros things. My cousin was hired to camp in front of one of the exchanges in New York with Occupy Wall Street. That was an attempt to put down capitalism. And then we all could be CCCP. I say, bring it all back, right? Everybody wants to be the Soviet Union, right? That's where we all want. No cell phones, no jeans, no music, no cars, starvation. Go to stores, you stand in line for 3 hours. That's the genius of it all, right? Yeah. This was out of the Atlantic. They thought this was brilliant. I just used one of them. This was genius. So now I get rid of that and I go over to the story. As Europe implodes, it plans radical intervention, including price setting, suspending derivative markets. Oh yeah, that's where I get crazy and I go, why don't you just get rid of all life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, any insurances? Just get rid of them all. Don't guarantee ships, don't guarantee planes, don't guarantee property. Get rid of all that insurance. Who needs insurance? And that's exactly what suspending derivative markets does. You're getting rid of all the insurance. That's it. You're removing all the insurance to investing. And just be like, get rid of the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Get rid of the central banks. Get rid of all of it. No need for anything. So, and then when it really kills me, that makes me want to just pull all my hair out of my head. Increase margin. In other words, let's make them risk more money. So it's always amazing, when they come up with these ideas. I mean, you just gotta we don't have to wonder. We know there's a bunch of fools running our financial industry. Matter of fact, I posted something this morning. Let me see if I can find it. I posted something this morning from a memory of a couple years ago. Let me see if I can find it. It is from what's his name? Doom, Gloom, and Boom report. Faber, And what he said was, let me see, somehow or another it seems to be missing. But let me just see if I can find it. And what he did is he said last year that all the central bankers should be locked up like criminals. That's what he said. And I reposted that. Now the question is, will I be able to find that? Did Facebook pull it and throw it away? There it is. I got it. There we go. Let's see if we can grab a hold of it. There it is right there. Central bankers are criminals. Mark Faber warns once COVID is over, in other words, he goes into a story about they'll come up with some other stupid thing. And then classic, this is 1 year ago, but what are we seeing this morning? We're seeing that same stupidity right there. Suspending derivatives, increasing margin, every way of increasing risk they're offering. Your wide margin call bailouts. Can we see any more stupidity than we already have? And it just goes on. I just shake my head. I heard yesterday. I was at a after I'd worked for like 10 hours outside on tractors and all kinds of stuff. Just moving stuff and bulldozers. I was out helping my sons move stuff around. I went over to a friend's house. They were having a barbecue. I was at the end of it. I rolled in there around 6:45. Threw my bathing suit on real quick, jumped in the pool, and then had something to eat. And someone said that they had heard, like in Ontario or something like that, that 15 people had been attacked with a knife. And me and the host said it identically. It was like, outlaw knives. Let's outlaw knives now, just because one idiot attacked people with knives. What if they all had knives? Then maybe that idiot wouldn't attack them. Or if someone attacks you with a gun, why don't everybody have a gun? It's like, I understand that more people die in London by knife by tenfold. Like 4,000 and 5,000 a year die in London by knife compared to New York by gun. Like, you get like, at one point there were only 4 gun deaths a year in New York. So, I mean, it's like, their first inclination is to do something stupid. And then someone comes in like myself and says, are you out of your mind? It's like, one size fits all. Let's be Soviets. Let's stand in line for a loaf of bread for 2 hours every other day for the fun of it. Let's only have one automobile that we can buy, maybe 2 types, and that's it. How about if we only eat borscht or beets and cauliflower, 6 days a week, and then at the 7th day you might be able to have a hot dog or a sausage. That's where it really comes down to. Market systems are the best. Anybody interferes with market systems just slows down freedom. Freedom is market systems. Market systems are freedom, and the more market choice you have, isn't it one of those big things they say across the planet in the female vernacular? Choice, my body, my choice. Choice. All right, so there we are. You can see the dollar index making a 20-year high now this morning there. See the same thing over on J4X. Same thing. Running to the moon. To the moon it goes. Let's see, we'll make it wider so you can see it better. Look how high it is up there. Just up there by its lonesome. Yeah. And I guess, and the Cyprus thing is a good example of it. How I've been making the joke for weeks upon weeks. Buy low, sell lower in Europe. Buy low, sell high in America. Why do they buy dollars? Because they want to do the latter. They want to buy low and sell high. In Europe, you buy low, you sell lower. It's okay. It's brilliant. It's genius. There's, what is there now? 16 trillion invested in Europe that was no return or minus return for a decade. That was genius. Right? That's genius. I bet you could hire many geniuses that can take your money buy low and then go sell it lower so you lose money. That's genius. That's genius. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the market here. You can see Doc is all fired up from these two news stories. And there's nobody on the media shutting my mouth up because they're all on the holiday. So I'm just like, on rampage. Like how more it's like giving me red meat, It's like giving me ammunition. Go ahead, give me a 3-day weekend and go do one of the more foolish things in finance. Let's widen margins. Let's, in other words, give more margins out to everybody. Let's eliminate derivatives. Oh, yeah, that's what we want. And then what that did is it just excited the molecules in my head to remember Cyprus, the genius of Cyprus. There we go. All right, let's take a look at the euro this morning. You see that? It was a little bit lower. It's kind of perking up a little bit in there. Third day of a sell. Fourth week of a sell, as you can see down there, right there. Let's check it out over on J4X. And where are you? There you are. Same thing here. 3 red hinkies, just matching up to our 3 red dots. And what else can we say about that? You see the green line piercing through here, just like our green line is piercing through the 0 line. So, that pressure. What do we got here? We got some. There's Janos. U.S. indices still trading. The electronic market is, so it's very thin. Morning. If Europe used to, let's put it this way: if it was Europe of 30 years ago, they could move the markets all day long. Now, I don't even know if Europe has the capabilities of doing that anymore. Well, I guess they do. They've been selling and forcing the market down, as far as I can tell. So we have here, I'll show you the intraday. Here's the intraday going on. And there's the S&P 500 right there. It's let's see, price appearance. Let's see, background. Go like that. There we go. Save it like so. Save workspace. There we are. You see it's up 2 1/4. The Dow Jones Industrial Average last night was up like, what was it? Let's fix that too. It was up something like, it's up 83 now. That's where it was last night. Right before I started the webinar, it was trading up only like 40 or 50 points. And then, let's see. So there's the intraday trading. This is the Doc intraday trading of it all. So you can see as we always say, if your intraday tools don't match up to your daily and weekly tools, you got to adjust them. You got to make them better, make them equal. See, you get a green dot, gets through the 0 line, goes up in value, you make money. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It drops down, gets red dot, goes minus here, you make money. You get right there, green dot, it's plus, goes up, you make money. Okay, what else we got here? Morning, would you like to look at SPCE and EXAS? Would love to. Oh, Yana says, by the way, rumor is we will add wheat, live cattle, and VIX. Cool, because you guys do soybeans now. So, I do. So I showed the soybeans on. Now they're not trading today. The exchange still they don't trade those. I'm not sure why, but they don't. And cattle, that doesn't even trade overnight. So that'll be very interesting to see how Dukascopy deals with the cattle. Cattle, feeders, and hogs don't trade overnight. They just trade Chicago time. But maybe there's European markets that we could follow. That would be even better. I'd love that. I'm looking forward to that, Giannis. I'm looking forward to it enormously. Because over half our clients, more than half our clients, use those things. What's interesting, Giannis? Here's something. Oh, let me start putting in what Jordan wanted. Let me do that at the same time. One of the interesting things of our clients at Chicago Quant is that as much as they trade like soybeans and wheat and corn and soy meal and all those things that farm related, what their second choice all the time is? It's like the S&P 500. They also ask for that. They ask for gold. They ask for silver. They ask for copper. What else? Oil. They're big on oil. You know, so that's interesting. That fits you. It really does. And Dukascopy here. I'll just show the traders here. Dukascopy. I'm not forgetting you, Jordan. I'm opening up something so I can get to it for you. Here it is on Dukascopy. There's the soybeans, and they always follow the front month contract of Chicago, so that's cool. Matter of fact, you have cotton on there too. Cotton. There's cotton right there. There's the cotton market, and they have what else do you have? There's soybeans, and that's the front month. Wow, 14.20, nice. Yeah, see, it says market closed. Yeah, the Chicago closes. The grains don't trade during the holidays. Not international enough, I guess. All right, now let's go find what Jordan was looking for. He's looking for, or she is looking for, EXAS. EXAS. Now, what is that? Let's see. We put that in there. Format instrument. I have ET in there. Phone home. Phone home. Ding ding. Okay, let's go look for it and add it. Okay, we can do SPCE. SPCE. Look up. All right, we got it. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, a 4-letter. Cool. Ever since ICE bought them, And the other one is EXAS. Look up. And that's on NASDAQ. That's interesting. Okay. Add. All right. Now, we can do the E one first if you want. Which one do you want to do first? You asked for SPC, so let's do SPC first. SPC. Right there. This is going to be interesting. There we are. That filled in nice. Let's see. Let's go in reverse. Did that make it into a buy there? Let's double check. Nope. That did not make it into a buy. So the last buy was right there. The last sell was right there. Boy, this is a nice trending thing. This is the SPCE. And then, can you see the symbol on it? On there? I think you can. It's right. Where isn't it? It's right up. Let's do this. Let's put it in there for you. SPCE. Okay, so that's there. This way, when you go back and look at it, and then let's grab this sell. There's your last sell right there. There's your last buy right there. Ooh, you got cooked. Look at that. You know what this looks like? With a gap like that. Is this a... let me look it up. It looks like a... what do they call this? What do they call those things? A trust? Is that a trust? SPCE. Let's see. Let me go search it out. Trading. There we go. SPCE. The reason why they do those gaps is they're always paying back equity. SPCE. There we are. Virginia Galactic Holdings. Okay. So that was when the bad news came out. That's what that is. Virgin Galactic. Okay, that's what that is. And then the weekly buy was there. Daily buy was there. And then did it go into a sell one there? No, but probably there. No. So it stayed in a buy all the way to here. Let's put that sell in right there. So went into the sell there. And the next day went into the buy again right there. We were in a weekly buy. Then it went into a sell again right there for that move. But we were in weekly buys. You don't want to take the sells. You just want to take the buys, and then you catch that buy. We ran from 7 to 8.56. It's a pretty good move. If you didn't have a stop in or options on it, you gave up all your profits to be greedy. What's those old concepts from Graham and Dobbs and all that? You know, let your profits run until you're broke. That's why I think both of them committed suicide, right? They both went bankrupt at times and committed suicide. It's really funny how they get quoted a lot. Guys who made tons of money, then lost tons of money, and then committed suicide somehow or another are like the main concepts of investing in modern world. Very odd. Extremely odd. And then let's put the weekly sell in there. There's the weekly sell. Let's move it over. And then it went into a weekly sell right there. And so then you don't take that buy, but you do take that sell. And it's been a winner chicken dinner all the way through. You thought, wait a minute, I got to read this. Let's see. Might be flat line on charts then. It's a ding, 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 ding. Winner chicken dinner storm. I thought that an investor group will kick me out of their chat. Why would they do that? You're knowledgeable. Someone posted the fact that BBBY CFO jumped off the building. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Well, that was a really... I'd stopped paying attention to them because they've been in a really strange situation. Something about lending and money missing and not paying suppliers. And so I don't really shop there, so I don't really pay attention to it. But it's a fun store when you are in there. They got all kinds of neat things. I sent this... I sent in this, the weather girls. It's raining, man. Just don't play it on the stream. We'll get a copyright strike. Okay, I'll play it afterwards. Excellent. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. It's crazy stuff. Okay, so that's the Virgin Galactic. That's what SPCE is. Now let's do this. Let's make a copy of that and stick the other one in there. Copy window. Okay, now let's paste window. And let's put in the other one. Let's see, the other one was what? EX or E something? E access, there it is. There it is right there. Here it comes. Let's see what that's doing. Oh, it's like the same thing. All right, now let's put that in there. What is this? EXAS. EXAS. This is Exact Science Corporation. Okay. Exact Science Corporation down 25% since last earnings report. Can it rebound? AI brains precise predictions stun Wall Street. Oh yeah. EX Science participate in September investor conference. Kathy Woods goes bargain shopping. Uh-oh. Is she the one killing this poor thing? Wonder what the all-time high is. All-time high is, let's see what a 5-year high is. 5-year high is like 130 some odd dollars a share, if not higher. Maybe 140. Yeah, this poor thing's down the tubes. So you can see here, there's your sell right there. There's your buy right there. Wow, there's your sell there for that. Move it over one. There's your sell right there. And it was in the weekly sell that week also at the same time. So not too bad there. So this has been the safe ride is the downside. And then there's your weekly buy. And that one goes there for that move. And then let's find another one. Oh no, there's plenty of them there. I don't need to do that. Let's see. There's a buy right there. And then there's your sell. And then it goes into the buy right there and goes right back into the sell again. And then you go with a buy there. right there, and then the sell in the middle of that. But you're in a buy, so you don't take shorts on that. And the next day, you can get long for there. There's your winter chicken dinner. And so Yana says, going copyright strike. I say, everyone got pissed as if they didn't know that each financial crash, the over-leveraged risk takers go suicidal. Yeah, isn't that the truth? In most cases, their lives are still much above the average American, but they still go nuts. Oh yeah, that's how they always say that like education doesn't really reflect intellect, or having a lot of money does not reflect being smart. And I guess that's why like Dobbs and Graham and all like that are quoted by so many. At the same time, they made a lot of money, then they lost all their money, and then they committed suicide. I think what they did is they lost, and then lost and committed suicide. I think that's how it plays out. So it's like that in the end result, to make money doesn't always have to be smart. You just have to be aggressive. In other words, for every buyer there's a seller. If you don't bid, you can't buy. If you don't sell, if you don't offer something, you can't sell it. So in other words, what happens? These individuals, they jump in. Sometimes they're early for the party. Sometimes they're not, and they go and they get short or they get long when something's going up, and they ride it. And then they ride it and ride it and ride it until they get clobbered. So. That's that. You're right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And then like the thing I showed you this morning. At the beginning. Remember Cyprus? We were working together back in the Cyprus years. Remember how genius they thought that was? You remember that? How they just thought, oh my God, this is going to be a Europe. Remember you and I talked about it live at one point, that this was going to be a European template on how to deal with future crises. Remember that? How those clowns said stuff like that? And it was like everywhere said it. Oh, hold on 1 second. I got to grab my phone. Just say hello to the world. No, don't be sorry. Just say, hey, happy 3-day weekend.
Yep. Okay, later.
Later. Yeah, you remember that? Remember how they thought that was genius? In most cases, they're like, I want Giannis to chime in to make sure I'm not sounding crazy or I'm like hallucinating here at the nursing home. So, yeah, I mean, they thought it was genius. It just drove me crazy. I remember it drove you crazy. It was like, are these people for real? They think that we can just, abuse the simple investor? I mean, really. That was really what it was all about. And then everybody goes, oh, well, it was just Russian criminals anyway. Well, there was a lot of private investors, too, that took the pain. There was a lot of people that took the pain on that one. And they weren't allowed to sell that stock of the banks only like, $500 a month or something like that. So, that's pretty much the name of the game. I mean, today's title is going to be like, remember Cyprus? Are we going to go do that again? I mean, honestly. Banking in Cyprus. Maybe that's the title of today's Europe Next, Because obviously they're looking for that type of genius to rob people's savings accounts. So, is EXAS part of Kathy Wood's fantasy? So she's down, what is she down now? So it was a $140 stock. It's trading at 35. So what's that down? That's, what's that, 70%? 80%? So it's down like, 80 some odd percent, almost 90%? 80%? 85%? I mean, Robin's trading one of Kathy Wood's things, but it's making money. because we bought it at the, or he bought it at the low, and let me show it to you. Here's another one of these Kathy Wood things, right there. It's trading at $4 a share. I think at one time it was like 15 or 20 or 30 or something like that. You can see it right on our machine. There's 17, there's 18, there's 20, and we're only going back, to July of last year, right? Yeah, July of last year. So, what did that do? That lost like 80 some odd percent of its value. She's a genius too, right? It just goes on and on and on. The dumber you treat, the more inefficient you treat money. But if you have good press, genius. You're a genius. Oh my goodness gracious, you're a genius. Oh my lord. All right. Where do we go from? Oh, let's go back to the currencies. See what's going on currencies. I hope Jordan had answered your question on those two products. They follow the math nicely. This one here is a medical one. It's modern medical, like organic medical compounds, ATAI. I think they do different forms of hallucinogenics that commingle together, work for people that have issues. All right, now from there, close workspace. Okie doke. Now, back to the currencies. Oh no, here you go. Here we're still in that buy since we left. That's the S&P 500, still climbing along. Up, up and away in my beautiful, beautiful intraday tools. And now it's 725. Remember, Dow was up on this. What was it up? 84. Let's see where the Dow Jones Industrial Average is. Up 104 now. Another $20. Buy, 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 buy. Let's see now. Let's go back to the currencies. Oh, look at that. Euro is firming up more and more. They were smacking it this morning. Buy low, sell lower. Let's check out cable. There's cable. Cable's feeling the pain. Feel the rhythm. Feel the pain. 7 days down and 4 weeks down. Can we look at the euro? Oh, yeah, here. I'll go back to it. What are you interested in seeing? Right there. You see that? It's playing the bottom end of the range. It's made a new low. What's that low? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. There we are. There's the bottom end of the old range. The low now is 98.78. It's a smackadoodle city. They're smacking that puppy. Let's go back to it on J4X again. Right there. 47. Nikkei Konnichiwa. We'll do that. I'm waiting for Giannis to say what he's looking for on the euro. We'll go through the euro too. Let's go to this. Konnichiwa, Konnichiwa, Konnichiwa. There it is right there. Doing a little perk up. Look at that. It's trying to get through the zero line. You see the... did the weekly close in a weekly? It did. It closed in a weekly sell last week. Let's put that line in there. Oh, that's not right. There we are. There we go. So it's playing with the sell, and it's also flirting with the daily buy at the moment, but it's got a red dot. Over here on J4X, see we have a Nikkei. Bonsai. Bonsai. Konnichiwa. Bonsai. There it is right there. A lot of red there, huh? But it is down at the bottom end of the range again. Tried to do it there. I see that 1 week bouncing and bing, rolled over again. Bonsai. Konnichiwa. Battle cry. Indeed. Bonsai. They want to trim you. That's what they want to do with those nice sharp bayonets. Let's see. What do we got here? So on the euro, let's go back to the euro. Euro on the wall, right there. It's interesting. The euro's, overall. Let's draw this out so it's a little bit clearer too. I mean, overall, it's not that bad what's going on. It's been bouncing between the 103 and the high 90s. In that zone there. Why don't we change the colors of that or something? But where that box is that I've put up, let's see if we can come up with something better. Properties, colors, styles. We got white. Let's go with something like yellow. No, how about like blue, like that? Yeah, and make it thickerish, like that. There we go. I mean, overall, the euro is not exactly getting beat up. It's just chopping around, doing nothing. Goes to up, goes down, plays the bottom end of the old range that's been around a long time now, for a year and a half, and you see it like that. Oh no, that was the old range there. That's what it was. Ever since inflation, I think, to be honest, I would say that in my simple opinion, I would say that what we're seeing a lot of time is just the reason they're out of their ranges. But they're not being wild. It's because of the inflation. They just had to adjust for inflation. 47. I was let's see. Timmy. Battle cry. Timmy. Bunday. Timmy. Inflation. Timmy. Jumbe. Attention. Inflation in Japan is only around 2.6. In some ways you have to, the yen used to trade at 300 when I first started on the floors, and now it's trading at it's traded down to 70. And so there's 70 yen to the dollar when there used to be 300 yen to the dollar. So the inflation kind of, I guess you could say, receded, right? In other words, it's like the reverse. Like look at the Turkish lira went from 1 when I was trading to 18. So I mean, that's tough inflation. And 70 from 300 is just 4 times, which is not that bad, is it? And it's reversed too. So there's only 70 yen to the dollar when there used to be 300. So inflation has diminished in some way. But then that's a controlled, it's like the way the Chinese control their currency. Matter of fact, I saw a headline this morning that said something about that. They were saying, why don't they just devalue their currency? Yeah, they do that, then they're like the 6th largest economy in the world. And they can't. They have a hard enough time now proving that they're the 2nd largest economy in the world. Let me take a sip of this water. So, inflation is fascinating. I mean, in a mathematical sense. So, in other words, let's go over to Turkish lira real quick. Did I answer the euro there, Giannis? You want to take it apart more? I'll take it apart more if you want. We could go deeper look, like the weeklies. We could go look at it monthly. Oh, matter of fact, you want to look at this? Check this while we're there. Check this out. Someone asked me about a monthly a while back, and I never deleted the chart. Check this out. There's a monthly. Check out that monthly. So went into the weekly buy there. Went into the weekly sell here. I'm sorry. No, monthly. I'm sorry. Monthly sell here. Monthly buy there. Went into the monthly sell there. Went into a weekly buy for 3 weeks. Then we 3 months. I'm sorry, 3 months, and then had that wild volatility, from 115 down to 106. Threw it into a weekly sell for a couple months, and then it jumped into the weekly buy for this whole ride up in here. There's a monthly. I haven't looked at monthlies for anybody in a long while, and I was going through the charts this morning on this particular file, and I saw the monthly there, and I thought, look at that. No one really asked for it, but Oh, let's see. How about prospective for euro until the end of the year? Now that's an interesting thought. There's two things going on in my little peanut brain. One is I keep on thinking that these markets are staring at, when I say these markets, I think the U.S. markets are staring at the election. So in other words, you would think that they'd be selling, like, let's put the S&P 500 in for a second. Not there. No. Cancel. So right there it is. So there's the S&P 500. And you can see back in June and July, they took it down pretty low, and they were in bear markets or whatever they call them anymore. And then you can see they took them back up again. They didn't take them to all-time highs. You can see they just, lifted them up. It's like a big ABC thing going on, And now they seem to really have a hard problem getting down here, and you would think that they wouldn't. So we just went into a weekly sell. I think that if this weekly sell doesn't do, in other words, we don't see like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks of a weekly sell and it doesn't go down and challenge the lows here, and we get back into a weekly buy, I think that concept that I have in my head that the markets are looking at a massive change in politics in the United States, and it's for the financial better, not the financial worse. And so I'm assuming smart money is trying to get involved, get in. So, let's see. So they will continue to ease. Let's see. The yen will continue to go down to the drain. I imagine right now. I mean, it's at what, 140 or something like that. And sort of. How about the perspective of euro until the end of the year? So yeah, for the euro to the end of the year, I really think that since I've never seen this type of news. I mean, over my 40 some odd years in the market, it's like 45 years in the market, I've never seen news like this talking about an election day in, day out since May. That's all they do is talk about it every day on the financial channels, everywhere. Even the channels I don't like, they talk about it. They're all talking about it all the time. They're not letting this go. And I really think there are times to be long, there's times to be short, and there's times to just stand it aside. And I really do believe, to a certain extent, it's times to stand it aside. In other words, I would not, would I buy American versus Europe? Yeah, definitely. Will Europe do better if the politics plays itself out that money in America is betting on right now? Yes. There's no doubt about that, too. Because, the old saying, when America sneezes, like when you have a cold, Europe catches the cold. And the world catches the cold. And so, we sneeze, the world gets the cold. And so there's no doubt that if we get a change in politics that will be good for finances, then you would have to assume that the world will benefit from it. It might be a slow slug, as we say. But right now, it's very clear that we're going to get a 0.75% increase. It looks like you're going to get a 0.75% increase in Europe from the ECB. And then the election happens 6 days after the next Fed meeting. Will they do another 0.75%? Will they wait? They may say they're going to wait because it's election, and they may make a statement like, "We will do it in the middle of the between statements." They have done that, so that alone will put some juice into the market, especially if the polls look the way they're going to be when we're like 2 weeks away from the election, 1 week away from the election. Polls are going to be reflecting this massive change in politics, for the better. More oil. Europe will be able to get gas, from us at way lower prices than, 27 euros or 28 euros. Where's it at this morning? Where's natural gas in Europe today? Where is nat gas? Right there. trading at 27.54. And here in the States, it's trading at 9 and change. Let me just show you where it's at in the States. See if they're even trading it. Right there. Yeah, it's trading this morning. So it's at 8.88. So it's under $9, or say under €9. So if the politics changes the way it looks like it's going to change, it's going to lower energy prices in Europe. It's going to bring more capital to investment and so forth. So, yeah, I think the euro could be more of a neutral at the moment. I don't know if I would want to be long it or short it. I think I'd kind of want to wait it out. And then at the same time, how about I need advice from your mom. She asked what to do with cash. You know, I don't think Europe is going to go the way of Cyprus. I don't. I think that people were stupid at the time when they said it. But I don't see them going in and robbing bank accounts. So, you know, I think I would, think about being invested on some level in, just the local bank that pays some interest. Anything that pays interest, put your money in, I would assume. And you have an FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, I'm sure, where you put your money in a bank and it's guaranteed. Now I don't know how Cyprus. I remember them suspending that. What did they call it at the time? They called it force de jure. Remember, so the insurance didn't cover the Cyprus banks. Remember that? Because they said, oh, you still have your equity there. It's only in stock now instead of euros. Oh, okay. And you can sell it every month, so you still have it. So they called it a force de jure. So I would stay with safe banks and interest. Let's see. So pay down debt, put into that's a good idea too. U.S. or accumulate for repaying debt later. Yeah, exactly. What if the U.S. farts? I don't think it's going to. I think they're going to get some power no matter what. Enough to stop Mr. Biden from doing a lot of things. There is a chance that they get so much power that Mr. Biden doesn't have to go to Washington anymore. We've had that happen in our history. People just don't talk about it. Democrats have had super majorities for years. During the Nixon years, President Nixon had only something like less than 23% of the House was Republican. Yeah, 23% during the Nixon years. So in other words, the only thing that got done was what the Democrats wanted to get done under Nixon. And the Senate back then had something like 35 or 40 Republicans. That's all. The Democrats had like 65 Democrats in it. They had super majorities. There's many a time. Matter of fact, that's why a lot of those buildings are named after old speakers and presidents of the Senate and all that stuff. Because for almost 90 years, almost 100 years, the Democrats had super majorities. So it didn't really matter who was president. It was the House and the Senate running the country. But people don't talk about that. But when you look back in history and you see how many seats they controlled, Democrats controlled on average 310 to 330 House seats. And sometimes they had as many as 67 to almost 70 at one point Senate seats. So, we have seen, even like I said, even during the Nixon years, it was that way. People just don't realize it. Gases. Oh, is that what that is? The gas ES? That's a Spanish? I always thought, see how it says gas ES EUR? So that's not the natural gas itself? Yeah, it says gas natural SDG. I thought it was the gas itself. Darn. Do you guys show what European gas is trading for? Ah, bummer. Okay, so we're actually looking at a gas firm. Okay. I thought that was actually natural gas. Thank you. Yeah, that's a. So I don't think they're going to fart. I think we will see the worst case scenario, like 200 and the 240, 250 seats, something like that. Best case scenario, 280, 290 seats. We need 283 for a supermajority. So I think we're right on the edge of that. I think we got a shot at a supermajority. Excuse me. Just a sip of water. Went down the wrong hole. I don't blame you. They have all the, the talk of it. You would think that they would have it up there. I mean, you know what it is? I guess it's awful hard to deliver. I showed some pictures last week where they had these Chinese gas tankers. They take in liquefied natural gas. They bought it from Russia. Then they pulled into France and unloaded it. So in other words, they bought it, then they sold it to Europe. Very strange, the whole thing. The whole, governments, are always interfering in marketplace, and doesn't make life any better for people. I don't know why they think it does. It doesn't. I haven't seen it. So, let me think. What else we got going on here? I would say that what it really comes down to is that free markets, free people. So the less government, the better. And that's usually the way it works. There we are. What else can we talk about? Did I answer everybody on here? I did, Jordan, with those stock symbols. I hope, Jordan, that was okay. I see 47 got his, or got her. She got her the Nikkei. Let's see. Storm got Storm. Timmy. Jumbe. All right, what else we got going on here? I guess that's about it. Excellent, Jordan. All right, we're gonna get out of Dodge. I'm gonna go full with a tractor. I will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. This is Doc from North America. Oh, and next Monday, I'm going to do a 5:30 a.m. again. I'll do 3 hours earlier on next Monday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. Remember, it's a thin market, so be careful. We'll see how they play them tomorrow.